94 Rocks The Dark. It is that time again. It is time to get to know a band we play here on The Dark. And tonight, the cool thing about our band tonight and our lead singer is last week, Central Minnesota, you picked this song as the winner of the Rock of the Dark New Music Poll. That song, Running from Ghosts, the band, Eternal Frequency. And on the phone tonight, I have Emelle Eternal. And first of all, Emelle, thanks so much for joining me. How are you doing tonight?
Hey, Daisy, I'm so stoked to be here. Thank you so much for having me. It's been a crazy one for sure, but it's definitely good.
Well, let's first of all get into this because you had a birthday yesterday. So, first of all, happy belated birthday here from myself and the entire 94 Rocks family. How did the birthday go yesterday?
It was good. First of all, thank you so much for that. It was good, very low key. I'm a very low key person, so we went on a hike. Just chilled at home with my dog and my cat because they're the fam. So yeah, it was good. It was good. I couldn't ask for a better one.
Now, I did ask you off the air here, did you get any exciting gifts for that? And you had told me, no, not really. I'm not a gift person. But then I did ask you the question, as a kid growing up, I got to believe you're some gifts that you really wanted as a young kid. I mean, I was the same way. I today now I really don't care about gifts, but yes, back then I wanted this, I wanted that. Maybe I wanted a new baseball glove or a bat or whatever it may be. What did you want, I guess, as a kid growing up as a birthday gift?
I was a huge fan of Polly Pockets, as every young girl was at that time. Games for like my Nintendo 64, even like books and stuff. I'm an avid reader, so books were always a big thing.
Nice. So do you still have all those? Do you have your Polly Pockets yet? Do you have the Nintendo 64 games, or are those no longer in your possession?
The Polly Pockets I donated when I got older. The N64 I lost, which is really upsetting because it's really upsetting because I get like major cravings to just play those games again because I actually still have my PlayStation 2 that I like to play.
Mm-hmm.
But the N64, there was nothing like that.
Interesting. What games did you enjoy in that?
I liked like Kirby 64, Mario 64, Mario Party,
Mm-hmm.
Super Smash Brothers, James Bond 007. I could go on. Zelda.
Nice. Awesome. Well, cool. Let's get a little bit more about the information about the band Eternal Frequency, and how did this all come about?
I started it about 5 years ago with my other guitar player, AJ, and that's when we worked on our first EP, and then Justin, Tyler, and now we have Ryan, who's our brand new drummer. They all came into the mix, and that's when I feel like the band really became what it is today, which is like with the sound and the quality, and it worked out beautifully when the three other guys joined, and you get what you see now, basically.
Now, when you started the band and now where you are today, have you had kind of a change in the direction you were going with this band on the sound, or is it pretty much from the get-go of the band starting back 5 years ago to now the same sound?
It's pardon me. It's definitely not the same sound. There's like hints of it here and there where we like to call it like the ES sound. But our stuff, like if you go back and listen to our first EP, it sounds nothing like our music now. It's still rock, but there's like some pop influence in it a little bit. Which honestly wasn't really the direction that I wanted to go. But when Justin joined and he became our primary songwriter, he was able to write what we were actually feeling, what we wanted to do. So our sound became what you hear now, and it's just more original, it's more unique. It doesn't really cater to a whole lot of the mainstream. There's like bits and pieces here and there, but I really feel like that's our sound, and it's just going to get bigger and better, and we're constantly changing things as well.
Now, of course, you told us what you wanted as a kid growing up for toys for your birthday. I'm kind of curious, what kind of music did you grow up with?
Well, I'm a theater kid, actually.
Okay.
So if that tells you anything,
Yeah.
I started doing theater when I was 5 years old, and I stopped doing it when I was 21. around the time when I started this band, actually. But that's a big part of my musical repertoire is musical theater, believe it or not.
And actually, it's crazy, but a lot of the female fronted artists that I've talked to over the years, a lot of them done theater, orchestra, opera, you name it. So you kind of fit right into that. I mean, obviously there's other ones too,
That's the
but
way to do it.
I see it. I totally see it. I totally get it. So that's cool. That's a very cool thing. And I'm really interested. Now, you're out of Pennsylvania, correct?
Yes, sir.
So what's the music scene out of Pennsylvania? Because recently, obviously, you've got bands that are currently like Hailstorms, now From Ashes to New, and then there's a lot of up and coming bands. It seems like that scene is really blowing up. Talk about the scene of Pennsylvania when it comes to rock music.
Yeah, well, actually, you're featuring one of our very good friends right now. They're called Defiant. I think
Yeah,
they're in that poll for this week. We're really, really good friends with them. They're wonderful people, and obviously, we vote for them all the way.
that's good.
But but the music scene, yeah, the music scene is thriving, flourishing. It's one of the best I've ever seen. Very strong knit group of people. Um, yeah, there's a lot of great bands that come out of here, all very hardworking, and I couldn't ask for anything better. It's all very inspiring.
So let me ask you then. Obviously, I don't really know the rock radio scene in Pennsylvania, but is there a couple of big stations that do promote a lot of bands like yourself up and coming in Pennsylvania, or is it a little bit of a struggle, I guess, for that?
There's a lot of like independent, like on like strictly online radio stations, I
Okay.
guess I should say. But then there's the big one, for Central PA where we're from.
Hmm.
It's called 1057 The X, and they do an amazing job at not only promoting the bigger national bands, but also promoting small bands like Eternal Frequency as well. Like every once in a while, if we have that song that's really a hit, they'll spin it on regular rotation instead of just putting it like on their quote unquote locals only time, I guess you would say.
Yep.
And they put on regular rotation and they, all hours of the day. And we just really appreciate the help that it does for us.
That's awesome. And I mean, obviously, I know that unfortunately for our industry, rock radio is kind of dying in some places, but I know it's strong here in the upper Midwest. And it's good to hear that there are those other sources out there for you to help out because let's face it, it's tough to be a new band and break into this industry. And I'm assuming you're kind of feeling that right now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's what I like to call the gatekeepers.
Mm-hmm.
And they only have their specific thing. There are only certain bands that they'll play, and it's the same bands over and over and over again. And then it's like us bands who were up and coming, and we just want a chance at that breakthrough, you know what I mean? And just a chance to be heard because once you hear us, we know that you'll love us,
Absolutely. Let's talk about the female side of things a little bit. And I've really seen in the last maybe 10, 12, maybe since 2010. Obviously, earlier than that, there were some of the pioneers on the head, lead singers being a female. But really, that has started to really blow up, at least on the rock world side. I guess, what's your feelings about a female lead singer and how rock is perceiving it now?
It's crazy that you mentioned that because I was just talking to this with my other guitar player, AJ, about how 5 years ago when we started this band, there really weren't a whole lot of female-fronted hard rock metalcore bands out. Like there was, some here and there, but there really weren't a whole lot. And then within the past 2 years, I've noticed just this blossom of female-fronted acts, and I think it's awesome. Like, we have a song called Step Up, and it's about female empowerment. It's about women empowerment, about not being put in a box. And I think it's awesome that these women are coming forward to, shit, I have a voice. I'm more than just this. I'm more than just that. And they're leading these awesome bands. And I think it's awesome. I fully support it.
One question I guess I do have on that is, as you mentioned, there's so many just coming out. How do you set yourself apart from all the others, I guess, to be known?
How do we set ourselves apart? It's a tough question. I'm trying to figure out how to answer that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I was just going to say it is a difficult question to answer, but I don't know if you have the answer or not.
I mean, there are those bands out there, not naming anyone specifically, of course, but there are bands out there that market heavily towards over sexualization to kind of get where they are, and that's not what we're about. We just believe in writing good music and being true to ourselves and looking out for the little guy. I think that's our primary goal, and I think that's what sets us apart from a lot of other bands. But yeah, I mean, there's no like straight way to answer that question, I guess I'm saying.
Right. Well, very well said. I have three late teenage daughters, so I totally get that part on the sexualization, and obviously we don't want any part of that. So I'm glad that Eternal Frequency isn't that way too. So that's awesome.
Thank you.
Hey, we're talking to Emelle Eternal from Eternal Frequency. Got to ask the name and the band name, the last name Eternal. So what's the meaning of the name, I guess, or how'd you come about with the name?
The name came about where I think it was inspired by 528 hertz, which is called the peace frequency. It's called the love frequency. And granted, we're not like a band that you can meditate to, but we believe that all music brings peace and healing to whoever listens to it, no matter what genre. So that's where the name came from.
Very cool. Very cool. I do have to touch on this. I did a little bit of reading on your bio, and then I actually had a chance to watch. You actually covered Lzzy Hale's Familiar Taste of Poison at the 2020 Central Pennsylvania Music Hall of Fame Awards. Amazing job, by the way. How exciting was that for you, and how nerve-wracking was that for you to do?
Well, it would have been more nerve-wracking if they were there. They couldn't make it that night, so unfortunately they weren't there, but that would have made it 10 times more scary for me. But no, it was an honor. It, like, out of all of the bands, like I said, there's so many female-fronted bands out there, and for them to ask us to honor Hailstorm was a huge deal to us, and one that we're still grateful for to this day.
Now, I have had a chance to talk to Joe just after they won their Grammy back in, I think it was 2012 for Love Bites, and then I also had a chance to talk to Josh, too, a few years ago. I have never had a chance to talk to Lzzy, though. Have you ever had a chance to talk to Lzzy? Have you ever had that conversation with her about that song or any interaction with her?
No, I'm still waiting for that chance, honestly. I mean, I think she follows us on Instagram. I think that's as close as I've gotten to her, but I'm still waiting for that chance to honestly like thank her for what she's done in music and for women like me, just, bringing all of that up in music. So I love that chance. I would really love that chance, and even to possibly do a song with her or share the stage with her, anything like that. So I'm always hopeful.
I was going to say maybe you could be some support for her, right? Exactly. Would that be good, going on tour with them?
Oh my God, that would be a dream. That would be a dream come true. Like, if you know how to arrange that, please don't hold out on me, Jay-Z.
Well, I try, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Let's talk about your song, your latest song, "Running from Ghosts." Let's talk about it a little bit and give us kind of the whole premises of this song, what it means to you, and I guess what's all the meaning about of it.
Yeah, so "Running from Ghosts" is hands down the most cathartic song I've ever written. Just mainly on a lyrical standpoint, because it's actually about my dad and about a very strained relationship that I've developed with him over the years, ever since my mom passed away, where he just became a different person and he kind of shut his family out and went to go live a whole nother life and moved on, got married again, and yeah, just didn't, like I say in the song, he didn't take solace in the ones that mattered, and that's the whole premise of the song, about the strained relationship.
Well, you definitely you can tell, I guess, then the pain that's in that song from you a little bit too. It definitely comes through. So thanks for sharing that, by the way, too, because I would have never known that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And let's talk about playing when it comes to shows and live shows and that. Do you guys get a chance to get out and do some live shows yet, or is that still kind of in the works?
Oh yeah, we do a lot of shows. Trying to think of what we have coming up. We're playing with Galactic Empire And actually, a member of Run DMC is playing that show as well. It's going to be at Mickey's Black Box in Lidditz, which is really exciting. I think that's May 5th. And then we're playing with like Power Man 5000. We're playing with Non-Point and Drowning Pool. And then the big thing that we're doing this summer is we're playing Blue Ridge Rock Festival.
Nice, and that has just exploded, hasn't it? That festival, one of the largest in America.
It's like there's so many bands. They're still announcing bands. I think they announced 130 something bands so far, and they still have 50 plus to announce. It's crazy.
Now, have you ever attended that before as a patron yet, or not?
Unfortunately, no.
Okay.
I haven't been able to attend as a patron. I've been wanting to play for years, but yeah, I've never been as a patron. No.
So you'll get both views of it, I guess, this year. So you can play and then you can watch other bands.
Yep, absolutely. That's my plan. Absolutely.
That'll be awesome. Hey, what are the future? Do you have some hoping to get a new album? Well, I guess where are we at on that? I guess for some more music in that coming up.
As far as music goes, we're always working on music. We have a vault of hundreds of songs that we've written and that are just waiting to get out into the world. And we'd love to do an album. That's a question that we get a lot. And basically my answer is that we live in a day and age where singles kind of hold reign. This day and age where, unfortunately, people have short attention spans nowadays because of social media and all that other stuff, where singles, doing one single and a video at a time, tends to hold the listener for a lot longer. And that way you can just push that one song over and over and over again. That's kind of what we're aiming to do right now, just dropping single after single, video after video, just to create a name for ourselves and just push that as much as possible. But yeah, like I said, we'd love to do an album. Funding and money is a thing as well. Producing an album, you're looking at like over 10 grand, if not more, to just do one album. So we want to make sure that we can make it the best, highest quality album possible. And make sure we have the funds to do that before we do anything.
Hey, and there's nothing wrong, I tell you, one of the brightest, biggest artists right now in rock radio is obviously Falling Reverse, Ronnie Radke, and he just did an interview about a week ago. I watched it, and he basically does one song, does it the best he can, then he decides, all right, here's a new inspiration to move on to the next song, does that, and maybe at one point when he has all those songs together, he'll put an album together. But it's kind of the way things are going now, isn't it?
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree with Ronnie Radke on that. Absolutely. I know we get a lot of fans asking for physical CDs of our music, which we don't have, but we're thinking about doing something just for when we tour or when we play shows, just to have at our merch table, because they want something for you to sign. They want something physically in their hands, which I get totally, because I still collect CDs.
Absolutely.
So there's that.
Nothing wrong with that. Hey, I know we got to get going here, but I want to give you the floor here just for a second. If there's anything you want to talk to your fans about, and also for people if they want more information of how to get a hold of you, or for that matter, find out more information about the band Eternal Frequency, how can they do that?
You can find us anywhere. You just type in Eternal Frequency on Google. We'll pop up. Our website pops up. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, even though I suck at it and I should be on there more. Spotify, all the music DSPs you can imagine. We're on there for sure.
Awesome. Emelle, thanks so much for joining me, and we're going to play your latest song, Running from Ghosts. You okay with that?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's spin it.
All righty. Thanks so much. Once again, that is Emelle Eternal. The band is Eternal Frequency. Their latest song, which, by the way, was a win of the Rock of the Doctor Music Poll, and you're hearing it every day now here on 94 Rocks. Here's Running from Ghosts on the Dark and 94 Rocks.